Hey, folks, welcome back to the CannaTech podcast. This is a special edition. I'm with Peter Vogel of Leafwire. How you doing on a Friday afternoon, Peter?
Doing great. Excited to be on your show.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, I want to make sure you enjoy the success you deserve and have earned. What is Leafwire?
So we built Leafwire to essentially be a LinkedIn for the cannabis and hemp industry. So we're 100% devoted to the business of cannabis. So
Yep.
this is not a platform just for people to talk about weed and get high. It's a platform for people who run businesses. They partner with businesses, everything from the growers to people who work in dispensaries to the media, the financial people, the scientists behind all of it. So the whole industry is, if you care about the business of cannabis, you should be on Leafwire and networking and looking for business partners, looking for investors, promoting your events, your new products. Everything you do on LinkedIn, you can come do with our 100% cannabis focused audience on Leafwire.
Yeah, let me just, folks, quickly share the screen. It does kind of alter our dimensions on the podcast. Let's see. Can you see? Let me try that again.
Yeah, I just, I could see that.
Yeah, you could. Okay, thank you. Folks, we're doing it live. So you can see Leafwire?
Yep. There you go. Yep, I can see Leafwire. I could see it's your account.
Yep.
Yeah, and so to point out a couple things here, you can see up in the top left, you can see Harry has added his headshot and a little description, usually stuff about a job. You can add your social info. And then there's a news feed there that runs down the center. So any member, you don't have to pay. There's no fees or anything. You can join for free. You can post for free. You can post your own blogs. A lot of people post just industry news from other sources, or people love to promote events. We have a little events tab up there on the right. We have about, I think at this point, 100 events from Switzerland to Jamaica to Dallas. I mean,
wow,
it's
Dallas.
worldwide. They're all kinds of events. Some are focused on cannabis or hemp or psychedelics. Some are focused on legal. Some are focused on payments. Some are focused on women in cannabis. So
well, here's one of my favorite, the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference. I'm circling it. That's one of my favorite events for investors. But okay, so you got events. Let's talk about the job board. What's going on with jobs?
Yeah. So and by the way, I'll be at Benzinga in Chicago next week.
Oh, good.
So
good. Have fun for me.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. So our job board, we have about 10,000 cannabis and hemp jobs on there, and it is worldwide. It's mostly U.S. and Canada, but there are people from some other countries that post jobs. But you could search by type of job, like marketing or finance. You could search by city, country, state, etc. But yes, we have 10,000 jobs. We think it's the biggest collection. We pull jobs from multiple places, and then we let people post for free. So I think we have the biggest job board at this point.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Yeah, in preparation for this podcast, I looked over jobs earlier, and you had a senior analyst with capital markets and sort of an investor relation role at Canopy up in Canada. That's a real job. I mean, that's not a budget.
Yeah. No, we get jobs from about 15 different of the MSOs, of the biggest MSOs. So, whether it's I'm blanking now, like Hexo or MedMen or
Sure.
any TrueLeave. There's tons of jobs from all of those big players. And even though I know they're laying off some people, but there's still lots of job openings.
Yeah, there always are. There's always adjustments. What was the secret sauce? I told you in an earlier visit, I've seen other industries try to be the LinkedIn of their industry.
Mm-hmm.
You somehow nailed it. Is this a template, or did you have a team of developers that I mean, the UI is remarkably similar.
Yeah. That's not a mistake. I mean, there's definitely, you try to copy from those who are the most successful. So, I mean, we looked at Facebook, how they do things. We looked at LinkedIn. We looked at just the general concept of social networks. We do have our own tech team. We use an offshore tech team, actually, that's in Sri Lanka. And
Okay.
there's not really a secret sauce. I would say our first version of this needed a ton of work. We've changed, everything many times, and I'd say the secret sauce is that we've been doing it for 4 years and spent a lot of effort on doing it.
Yeah, and what I also noticed today, I spent a little bit more time on it, and by the way, Peter, I'm starting to maybe twice a week post some of my existing research. I shared with you, I write for a couple of
Yeah.
publications. That's what you do when you're a writer. But today I paid more attention to what I'm going to call the velocity of your site. And you're getting a fair amount of daily posts for not actually being Twitter or LinkedIn yourself. Let's assume LinkedIn probably has a post every second or every couple seconds, but they're huge, almost to the point where it's not meaningful, to be
Right.
honest.
Too fast.
But yeah, but you have good solid velocity. Any thoughts on that? I mean, it's like you're getting at least a post an hour, maybe look, 39 minutes ago, you're 42 minutes ago, you got traffic. Any thoughts on that? Have you seen that grow?
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely seen that grow over the last, I'd say, year, in terms of more and more people posting and are commenting and liking. And it's kind of, the whole chicken or the egg, right? Or you call it also the network effect. You're more likely to post if you see lots of other people posting, and you're more likely to comment if you see, oh, there are 6 comments on that post. So it's like a normal thing. And if you see 30 people liking something, you're more likely to like. So I think we're not there yet. And I know you can't see me, but I'm making a motion with my arm kind of going up to the right. We're seeing more posts, more likes, and more comments, and it's kind of feeding itself a little bit. So I think we're getting close to some sort of network effect or inflection point where, it's almost like if you keep getting emails from people saying, so and so just invited you to Leafwire, or look what this person said on Leafwire. Once you get enough of those things, you finally just join. So it's like, and then when you get enough people that have joined, everyone else sees it, and then it's. I don't know. Have you ever heard the parable of the 100th monkey?
No. Talk to me.
So I don't even know scientifically how valid this is, but it was scientists were studying these monkeys on an island, and all these planes would fly over, and produce would drop out, like mangoes or avocados. They would land in the sand, and the monkeys all loved the sand, loved them, but they were all covered with sand. So if one monkey finally figured out you could wash it off in water, okay? And then they slowly watched other monkeys follow, and then they reached some point where there were like just 20 monkeys who weren't doing it. But then at some point, and they call it the 100th monkey, once the 100th monkey did it, every single other monkey on the island did it. And then this is the weird part. They say in the island next to them, which there's no movement back and forth, all of those monkeys started doing it too. But somehow that was like, that knowledge was like in the air, that energy, or everyone just knows at that point. So we're waiting for our 100th monkey, I guess.
I like I say, I've got it bookmarked. I'm on it. I peek at it each day, post a couple times a week. What it's done for me is in the morning, I peek at Facebook, LinkedIn. I go to Leafwire, and then maybe check one of the news readers, one of the aggregators that pulls. MSN is a good example. They pull stories from everywhere, and that's over coffee, right? And then I'm ready to start my day. So I consider this a morning bookmark. Hey, couple final questions. I also get emails, a newsletter from you. Talk to me about that. Is that daily? I should be a better citizen and open them all.
Yes. We send a couple kinds of emails. One is a daily that actually now we even do weekends. We call that one the Leafwire Weekender. But what it's called the Daily Wire, and what it is we basically go and pick what we were just looking at here in the news feed. We pick the 6 most popular posts, and that usually means they're articles about some pressing political issue, or some science, or some big business news, or something was announced. So we pull the 6 most popular, we put them in an email. So it's kind of like the best of the best. So even if you don't have time to come back every day, we're picking the 6 best things and sending it to you. And we get a lot of positive feedback. We get a ton of people that tell us our newsletter is one of the few they actually read every day, and they like the selection of because we'll put articles in from MJ Biz, from Forbes, from New Yorker, from Cannabis Business Times. So we just pick what we think is the best. And then in that email too, we always put some featured jobs, a featured event. So we be promoting something like Benzinga right now. And by the way, if you're going to Benzinga, there is I realize you're not, you said, but there's a 30% off coupon on Leafwire. If you go in the events tab, you can see the discount code. So that's a good thing to note as well. But so we do that daily email. And then we also do a couple for our kind of advertising partners. We do some like standalone email blasts. Yep. So we'll send an email out that might be promoting, Dama Financial as a payment processor. You might be promoting the ad you see on the screen there is a Stash Stock, is a company that does scales for like big crops and farming type stuff. So it's a way to accurately measure your harvest. But yeah, like Stash Stock, we would do an email out for anyone who is interested in learning more about that kind of technology.
Yeah. 2 more questions. Do you moderate posts? And let me add to that why I'm asking. The other day, I saw a number of posts from one individual regarding real estate, and it was like 6 posts in a row, and I page down. I mean, it's fine, but it was pretty blatant advertising. I'm not interested in real estate. Do you moderate, or do you let the free market moderate?
So we do have, by the way, on the top of every post, on the top right, see those 3 dots?
Yeah.
You can block someone, and then you never see their stuff. You could report a post. So we do get some group policing. If enough people report a post to us, it automatically takes it down until we review it. And that's what we're trying to prevent is, anything that's, laced with profanity or nudity or
no, I get it.
Illegal things. So we do our best. We try not to moderate. There's been situations where we felt one member was being too aggressive or rude to abrasive to another member. And we took that down because we thought it stepped over the lines of what we consider kind of professional courtesy. So we do our best not to do that because we want this to be kind of an open forum. And like I said, anyone can block someone. So for those real estate people, like I'd recommend if you see that again, just hit that block button and you'll never have to see their posts again.
Okay. And then finally, how do I've built up a few followers. I have a building network of friends on this. How do I become a pro? It sounds like I should reach out to one of them and say, hey, you're a pro. Can you nominate me? What's that process?
Yeah, no. So we put a pro recently. We don't even have all the features yet. So that's why we don't want to charge for it. And we set it up kind of like as an invite only. If you see anyone with a pro, so for example, like Harry, you could send me a message and say, hey, will you send me a pro invite? And I can just send you something. You just click a button. And then some of the features you get right now, you get extra conference discounts. That's actually one of the best things where we've asked a lot of these events to give us 2 discounts, like one level and then the next one 5 or 10% higher. And we put that in pro. So if you're Leafwire Pro, you get that. We're going to be adding a feature where you can see who looked at your profile, kind of like LinkedIn has. We also have a pro messaging. So every time you write a message on Leafwire to another member, at the bottom there's a little checkbox, and if you click pro, it'll make your message kind of stand out and be bold and blue, and it's kind of like stands out above the rest. So it's almost like an in-mail for LinkedIn.
Yeah,
how they do it. And there's a few other features that are coming, but yeah, you can send a message to me or anyone you see who has pro. And each person has kind of like a certain number of invites that refreshes every month.
All right. Well, I'll do so. And then assuming, speaking for myself, it's a busy fall, and I still do 3 or 4 things. So the next cannabis event I'm actually going to go to, and I'm dedicating the whole week to, will be MJ BizCon in November in Las Vegas. So I'm assuming I'll see you there.
I'm hoping to be there. My conference schedule is getting busier and busier, so I'm trying to pick and choose things like Benzinga, or I'm probably going to go to MJ Unpacked, which is the month.
Oh yeah,
as well.
Yeah, they're great.
And yeah, those I've been liking some of these slightly smaller shows where it's you can see tends to be a little higher level of caliber people, and also it's easier when you're dealing with 800 or 1,000 people versus 30.
Well, yeah, and I echo that, and I get that. Again, my team and I were analysts, like you'd see at Gartner, IDC, or Forrester, and that's going well, and really, skipping my step in the morning when I wake up, really enjoying it. MJ BizCon is kind of the Super Bowl, Comdex, CES. It's fun, and I gotta go. I mean, I gotta go, but I'm far more effective at Benzinga. I mean, that's a direct hit for an analyst, man.
Right, I'm sure. Yeah, you get the CEO of every big company is there.
Yep. Well, hey, if you don't mind, here's what we're going to do is I'm going to check in with you. Jenny, who does the editing on this in the background, she triggers off of my closing. So Jenny, let's check back in with Peter after the first of the year for 2 reasons. Let's go through another quarter. We'll get through show season. But I'd love to hear what, A, how you're doing, and then B, what you're thinking about 2023. Right, because you're collecting a lot of data and information here, right? And you're hearing what's going on.
Right. Yeah, we definitely kind of keep a pulse on. We work with all kinds of businesses too, so we know some of the growers, some of the dispensaries, some of the MSOs, some of the investors. So yeah, we definitely talk with lots of groups.
All right. Okay.
All right,
Have a great day. Thanks, Peter.